There are experiences out of attachment, there are experiences out of non-attachment. There are experiences in the daytime, there are experiences in the night time. All are experiences. Every experience is welcome. Experiences from attachment are welcome. Experiences of non-attachment are also equally welcome. Where you have to be attached, you have to be attached. Where you have to be detached, you have to be detached. Where you have to be attached, you will get a nice experience. Where you should never be attached. When you are not attached, you again get a nice experience. Both attachment and non-attachment, they both give you experiences. Whatever experience you want, you get it. If you want to experience a good experience by attaching yourself to me, then you get attached to me. Because you want this attachment. You like this attachment. To go to some dadiwala. Okay. Are you not attached to me when you have come to me? Because you like this experience, you come and get attached to me. Okay. I was going to my guru. I was attached to my guru because I like that experience. But somebody else, I don't want that experience, so I get detached. Attachment and detachment both give you experience. Whichever experience you want, you choose.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Good afternoon, evening. Our concept is be here in the society, in the samsara. And then go beyond the good and bad, the right and wrong, the high and low of the experiences. Yogaha samatvam uchyate. We become equanimous to everything. But we don't have to leave where we are. The reason we are not equanimous to everything is because we do not know about it. There is ignorant, there is arihant, there is bodhisattva, there is buddha. We think what we know is all the world. That stage is there always. And so then we live our life according to that limitation or that understanding. But you can mute everybody and then remove the unmute option. So there is a limited understanding of life. And so we want to be that way. Supposing that there is a river and then we are this side, and then there is something very, very beautiful on the other side. But then when we are limited with understanding, and then when you see this river, this very dangerous river, and then here we see all our family, friends, everything is there, so limited with understanding attachments, and we are stuck here. We don't even want to attempt to go on the other side. We don't even want. We don't want to look at the other side. We say, this is it. This is the world. We're stuck in this. We hear, it doesn't matter. We don't even want to try. That's not for me. We have our own way of arguing for the limitation. Many times we don't even know that we are arguing for our limitation because that will become our truth. On the stage when we are here, this itself is life. What we know, the tiny little thing that we know of is how the life should be. At some point, we start recognizing. Every now and then we'll see somebody crossing to the other side. We say, oh, so that is possible. They're coming back and then telling some good stories, great stories. They're saying that I'm free. Okay, so something happened. Okay, so what? They're saying, so what? That business failure happened, so what? Somebody died in my home. Okay, so go around and then show me who else has not died, in whose home there is no death. Okay, that is also interesting to know. Where is awareness of our hosts or facilitators? Why don't we look at some parameters? Here, people can unmute themselves. Right. So there is stage one that we are ignorant, we don't know, this is life. And so all suffering is there because in the life there is so much attachment is there, so much greed is there, wanting to know more because we don't know how much to earn, how much not to earn. So planning for future, significant planning for future we're doing. And then go on working for that future. We may not even come. 10 years later, all the planning is there, but we may not even exist in the body. We do not even recognize it. But yet we know many times that we don't want to take the step because we're too fearful. We haven't even understood what it is. So we don't even want to try. The people who are telling that, hey, we become very, very free. We stop thinking and planning maniacally about, every step of the way. And so start becoming spontaneous, going more feeling-centered, recognizing there's something is there to take care of you. Relax and come back to the moment. But still, we will take time, but then we're going to, at some point, we start looking at the shore. There are people crossing, coming back and saying there's great life out there. So then we start getting motivated to go there. We are becoming arihant. We go to the other side. We go to the other side, and then we explore there. First, we have to explore that world. We have to become that transformation. We got to see for ourselves what is all out there. How are people living there? Okay, then, wow, there is some death there. They're celebrating death also. In the customs, there is a lot of celebration happens in the village side when death is there. You celebrate death, you celebrate birth. When I heard this first time from Patriji, I said, wow, that's the way to think. You cut cake on the birthday, then are we not doing on the death day? Because there is so much life out there. Because we did not know there is life on the other side. Or there is reincarnation, that we are the soul stuff. I am Atma. Consciousness is there. Then from consciousness, that something is coming and then going back. That consciousness, that Brahman, that energy is there. I am Atma, I'm part of it. I'm Atma Brahma, the next stage. We recognize that I'm Atma, not only me as a speck, but I'm the Brahma, I'm the whole. So if we recognize it, that we are coming and going as part of us, the whole consciousness, a speck of it, we're reincarnating, taking different roles. Experience, then death and birth are just the same. It's like signing a new movie, it's ending the contract of the movie to finish. We celebrate, right? If project is finished today, we celebrate or not? We all celebrate when a project is done. Hey, that's great. We did such a wonderful job. In the beginning, we celebrate individually, oh, I've got into this project. That's celebration. Birth, end of a project, celebration, death. I've done it so beautifully. My company, last company, when the company gets successful, you look at, you bring all the people and celebrate. Success or not, a true entrepreneur should celebrate everything because in everywhere is learning. If I look back to my company, there's so many lessons that I had at every step of the way, so many lessons. Success or failure was only the moment of definition. It took us 13 years to get there. If I waited only till 12 and then said it's not working, close it off, in the eyes of the world, that's a failure, but not for me. 12 years of so much of experience of what to do, not to do, I've learned. Success came because a patient did not wait for some more time, and then in the eyes of the world, there is an acquisition, there's something more, something more. But that's only a point in time, you think about it. If I waited for 12 years, 11 months, and then 29 days, and still that success was not there until that day came in the eyes of the world, does it mean that it was not successful if I didn't wait for a day before? Suppose, I didn't exist the day before the acquisition date. It would stop. So was it a failure? Then it might be branded as a failure, but not for me. Not for anybody. There's only an experience for the soul. We're understanding the 6 spiritual science laws. When we understand that the wisdom, then we remove that ignorance. So we start crossing the river to the other side, because the other side, people are coming back and saying great stories. We become an arihant to go the other side. We explore. Arihant is the one who is on the path, who is exploring life, living life differently. I create my reality. Okay, you want to shout at me, you're saying something to me, fine, I'm looking at it, but I come back and then understand from my inside, what is it that I need to do here? Why am I attracting this experience? You start looking inside first. Stop blaming and pointing somebody else. A different way to live. Then by doing so, suddenly I remove the power from somebody else's words. I'm not responding the way I used to do before. You say something, I say something else, they say something, we increase our voice level, lose so much energy, our adrenaline kicks in, and then all hell breaks loose. But that's no longer the case now. Manam madhuram, avamanam madhuram. Patriji said, manam madhuram. So praise is great, avamanam, criticism is great. Can we take that? Just because somebody is saying something, we don't become it. So it's easy to accept. We don't become that. They say you're stupid. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. We look back for a step back and say, maybe they're so frustrated in life, so they're saying all kinds of stuff. We pull back, and so then suddenly that event is dissipated because there's no response back to you to aggravate further. You're not putting your attention onto it anymore as before. Where there's no attention, there's no energy, and so there's no manifestation. Where there's attention, there's energy flowing, and so there's manifestation of it. It grows. So we become arihant to go to the other side to explore, transform. And slowly, as it happens, then we keep coming back to the shore, and then we are there sticking there to the shore, and then see next person coming, next person coming, next person coming. Give them a helping hand to cross over. That's bodhisattva. We give a helping hand for people to cross over because we've seen it, we loved it. It's too good. No longer feel the tragedy in my heart for somebody when that is happening. I have all empathy for them. I understand it. Okay, they come with a design. They come with a plan. What is it I can do to help elevate this pain for the family, for them, rather than me also sit and cry and then go on talking about those sympathetic words, which will pull them further down. That's not what I do anymore. Instead of have that understanding, you're going to sit down there, make them sit down and meditate for some time because their mind calms down. There's a mind which is constantly playing a lot of things. That emotion that is there attached to that individual is what is causing them to lose their senses. So meditation helps to calm the mind, helps to disengage from the past, and so the emotion is held back, and no longer that emotion is taking over the person or that attachment. I do that. Bodhisattva is sitting there waiting at the shore, waiting for the people to come and helping them, motivating them, inspiring them, giving that helping hand and telling them what all to explore in the other side. There's first ignorant who doesn't want to do, the fearful, survival oriented, didn't want to try anything because they think this is all life is. Second, then after getting motivated, you go to the other side, you become arihant. You practice, practicing meditation, reading, this, that, and the path, trying to become that. Crossover. Definitely will cross over and understand this. We're going to cross over to the other side. It might appear very tall today to be non-judgmental, but we're going to become that for sure. Nothing happens overnight. We will be non-judgmental incrementally. As we remove the layers of our limited truth, we'll become non-judgmental about situations. New way of living, so we become free. We learn a lot more from people when we become non-judgmental. So Bodhisattva is to stay there and then help everybody. These are masters who have their own ashrams. There are people who put boards at their home, meditation available, please come. I have free counseling is there, please come. They're there and then helping. Whoever comes to them, they'll help, but they're readily there to help because they figured. And then Buddha, dear friends, is going to everywhere. Is no longer stopping there. Buddha comes back to this side of the river and then starts going everywhere and say, come, I'll show you the path. It's taking you. He's going to the places where people are there. No longer waiting on the other side of the shore like a bodhisattva, comes this side and then goes and mixes with the people and then telling them, let's do this. That's what is going to happen too, dear friends. Our path is to be a Buddha, to be back in the, with everything that we cross over, look at everything, come back here, and then work with, be here, and then experience life beautifully. We're not renouncing anything. We're not rejecting anything, not at all. We slowly move towards a righteous desire, which is nothing but aligning to a purpose. That's our topic for next week. Let's understand this a little more. The 6 spiritual science theories. One is everything is consciousness. From that consciousness substance, we come and go. I am Atma. But everything is there. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is just Brahma, that Brahmahand. We understand this science that I am Atma. So this whole Brahmahand, we are specks of consciousness, we are specks of light. We come, we take a role, we go back. Law of reincarnation. We take a role, go back. And so then we're exploring the remaining 4 theories, which give us an understanding that I can be the Buddha, I can be the Jain, I can be an Osho, I can be Yogananda Paramahamsa, I can be Jesus, anybody, I can be that. It is not limited to a few people. We remove that understanding, instead of work towards becoming that Buddha. Let's go into meditation, dear friends. We're practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind and be in the state of emptiness for as long as possible. The posture is simple. We are sitting down on the floor, crossing your feet, fingers into fingers, hands in the lap, comfortably rested, and closing your eyes and observing the breath anywhere in the nose as a reference point. And observe your breath at a point, and slowly, our mind becomes empty. As the mind is empty, we may experience some kind of sensation, movement, and it's called a meditative state. Witness it. You may have involuntary experience your body or mind, and so then witness it. We are observing the breath slowly, mind is becoming empty. As mind is empty, experience that emptiness. There may be some kind of a sensation, observe it. In case you have thought, do not observe the thought, instead bring your attention back to the breath. And again, observe the breath. Again, thoughts come down. Again, mind goes into empty state. And again, we may see some kind of sensation. May not. If it happens, observe it. If it doesn't happen in the empty state, we are consciously aware, observe it. But we're not aware of ourselves where we are, neither the breath is there, great, be there. You don't even know until the time that state is broken with another thought. When you recognize, you bring your attention back to the breath, called breath mindfulness meditation, dear friends. Before we do this, we're doing a practice called heart elevation to elevate ourselves into a higher feeling, which helps our body to go into an alpha state, a deeper state for meditation. So we do this process called heart elevation, preparing ourselves for a deeper breath mindfulness meditation. So we do this for a few minutes, follow my guidance. For it, relax yourself, sit comfortably, relax your body. Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, with your hands over chest area and resting your attention on your sacred heart, can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the seed of all emotions, nurturing all life. My dear friends, I want you to connect with this heart center. Feel it, connect with it. Experience that beat, the rhythm of your heart, the center of all emotions. Their primary connection to this quantum field of possibilities. Recollect an experience from your past, from your present, or from the vision of your future. where you felt enormous love, gratitude, compassion, or any of the higher emotions, and relive that moment and feel that energy. Relive that moment and feel that emotion, that energy inside your beautiful heart. And can you intend to radiate that energy onto everybody and everything on this planet Earth to help them heal, to help them become a greater version of themselves. We are all deeply interconnected. We are specks of energy, intricately connected with each other. The more we experience this energy of love, compassion, the more coherent we become in our body, with our mind, with the quantum field, with everything and everybody. Feel it, dear friends. And slowly, I would like you to go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers, resting your hands comfortably in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, dear friends. observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath, and allow yourself to slowly experience emptiness all around. When you observe your breath, the mind becomes empty. As the mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the present moment. We develop that greater awareness, and our body functions at its natural best. Be with your breath and allow yourself to slowly lose into that emptiness, that blackness inside of you, all around you. become aware of that emptiness, where there's no body, where there's no thing. That's energy. All emptiness is energy. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness and blackness, that field of light. We are tiny matter and infinite energy. Become aware of this emptiness, that energy, the quantum field of possibility, the field of specks of consciousness. Stay aware of that emptiness, that energy. This is the field of unlimited, the field of intelligence, constantly paying attention to you as awareness. the more you are with it, with this emptiness, that energy, away from your body and life, the more clearer you become, the more intuitive you become. Merge into the emptiness of yourself. This is your divine self. Everybody and everything is connected in this field of energy. The more you experience this field of energy, that emptiness, the more you lose yourself to this nothingness. The more we become that whole, the more we experience everybody and everything. recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. We are working through to understand spiritual science, which is giving us a perspective, which is giving us a different way as we explore. An important aspect as beginners of meditation, many of us, we don't believe anything blindly. We don't believe people blindly. Very, very important. Because meditation is making us receive. But as a beginner, we don't believe anything blindly, but we are curious to experiment. Not everything you hear, not everybody that says, may be right there. We don't believe something blindly, but we want to not reject it. Instead, we work with people. We work with, we explore, experiment with it. When what I say, experiment. I may say many things, but one has to experiment rather than blind belief. Oh, Chandra sir said Ratanvel is like being a great master. Just don't believe anybody blindly, including myself. Very important. You got to establish the fact for yourself. You got to experiment for yourself. Then you know the truth. Because everyone's truth can be different. There may be variances to the way you experience it. But however, when they are saying my life is beautiful, life is great, I have done this, done that, then we take that on the face value rather than rejecting, and then we experiment. We study them. I was there with Patriji for 3 years observing and studying. I would go to a function, but not really get into the meditation because I was not fully there. But I observed and observed. People go and then give him shake hand and then hug him, and I say, why am I doing it? I'm just another person. Only later when I understood the science of energy, only later I understood the way their lives are changing, that they really, really want to be grateful. And so they want to go and then give their gratitude to him, and so they're doing it. I did not understand it in the beginning. But I've done my experimentation. I've decided to come to a conclusion and said, this is a master that at least I'm going to learn from. Because he's also opening the door to many masters. He never said, just stop with me. true master must enable us, must show the path, but not make us walk the path. If you're going to show the path, then you've got to walk by ourselves. True master is not doing homework of somebody. If I do the homework, then you come here for your own role. How can I live your role? We're trying to understand the 6 spiritual science laws. This is one of the most important, gives clarity, sets us in different directions to explore each of those through our own life events, through others, through various books. Consciousness. We are coming from this consciousness. Everything originates, as we learned it, comes from nothing comes something, and that something stays there for some time and then disappears into it and transforms into something else. The trees come, the statues come. There is suddenly a movie, you go to the theater, there's a blank screen, suddenly there is a movie up there, picture is there. Nothing is there first, but then picture is there. We are glued to it for the next 3 hours. So we too are like that. We're coming as specks of consciousness, exploring. Observed, something observed, we are here, and then we start observing. And so many things we start drawing into our life. So the first thing is consciousness. Second is we say reincarnation. Every time we come back, we're reincarnating for a newer life, newer role, newer experience. We finish one grade, then we go off for 3 months vacation, grandparents, somewhere, we're not even there, anywhere near the school. 3 months of vacation, then I come back for 3rd grade and a 4th grade and a 5th grade. The perspective, if my perspective about my schooling of last year was great, then I look forward to come back. But the thing is, at the end of the vacation, we're always coming back, looking forward to come back, to meet the friends. But somewhere we lose around, but as a child anyway, we've always been enjoying it. If the school made it difficult, then we don't enjoy, but otherwise not. But we're taking life after life after life to learn something new, different roles. Because we're bored. A businessman is bored of doing the same thing. A family is bored of going to the same restaurant. We want new things. So we keep taking life after life to something new. That's the theory of reincarnation. The third thing, now let's understand it, and we put up the slide so we have a bit more clarity of it. Yesterday, six theories of nature of personal reality. Theory of consciousness, everything originates from nothing. And we are aspects of consciousness. We call ourselves Atma, I am Atma. The soul, the energy, whatever. But I'm part of this whole. I'm part of the whole. There is whole. The Brahman is there. I am Atma and I'm Brahma. We recognize this. We don't stop at I am Atma. We actually go forward to say we are the whole. That's the quantum field. Reincarnation, cause and effect, we will explore today. Reincarnation, we're coming back for different roles. So then, okay, so somebody is rich and I'm not that rich. So, okay, fine, it's just my role. I've come here to play this role. So big deal, because I can go back and I can take that role if I want to. I can do it now if I want to, but if I want to finish this role because I've set up the environment, I've agreed to Rajmouli that I'm going to do this role. Now you go into there and say, no, this is not good, then I want the other role. Then you say, what the hell? I mean, I've got all the characters set up like this. How can you do this? You agreed to this, so come on, do this, because everybody else gets disturbed now. The whole movie gets delayed. So please take on the role that you agreed for. So reincarnation is taking different roles to explore our infinite power of ourselves, exploring as what is it I can experience. We are here exploring ourselves to experience more and more of this nature, our grander nature of ourselves. So we're taking different roles. We call that purpose. You can call it purpose. The purpose is to go through, to learn something or the other. Now this book, let me show this book. The Soul's Growth Through Reincarnation by Leadbeater. Illustrated by Janananjan Dasal. Now, you know what this talks about? The lives of Orion. And this book, it was there in my home for a long time. And my co-brother was telling me that this book listed, it says here, the last 24 lives of Orion. A table. The last 24 lives of Orion. Orion is a master. And the table is talking about when was it placed, where is the place of the birth, whether it be born as a male or female, what's the age, and between lifetimes, how much time that has been spent. An average between lifetimes is 1,000 years here. 1,000 years. Between lifetimes. Average life on the earth, as per this, is 53.5 years for this master. Now, somebody documented it. Somebody went through the understanding of the third eye capability to go and look into it and document it. Just to give a perspective. Now, it talks about one life in Morocco. And it's saying for 20 years and travel, the master, that person, Orion, lost himself into an island. So 20 years was in silence, experiencing solitude. And in that solitude, he came to a greater conclusion that how wasteful his life has been in a lifetime. He just understood how wasteful his life has been, doing nothing. To come to this greater understanding of, through solitude, through contemplation, he came to understanding. Until then, it didn't come into his life. They were just wasting life time after time after time. Always a reason. What this book is saying is that life after life, we have some reasons of why we come. We want to experience some part of it, learn something. But we are choosing. So it is okay if I'm a poor person and then somebody else is a rich person. It is okay if I've got this great ill health while somebody has got great health. The body goes, but we are saying we are there as energy, consciousness remain. We come back to start from where we left. Reincarnation. So then what happens? So then this third thing is saying is, the third theory that is saying, so theory of consciousness, nothing to everything. Theory of reincarnation is death to eternity. So you transcend. You transcend the fear of death. You transcend the life experience. You say, okay, if not this time, next time. We go to a company thinking that something is going to be there. If we didn't like it, we complete through it for some time and then we have another one. We simply take from that perspective, right? We have another one. We go to another company. It's okay, fine. But we give words, we go to a company after a lot of interviews, we give words and we feel somewhere inside, hey, I committed my word to be here with them for 2 years or 3 years. Let me live through it. That's a man of integrity. So we do that. Fine, I don't like it, but it's okay when I gave my word. So let me spend the time. Let me give what I said I'm going to do for them. I do that and then I go. Because I was the one who came in after talking to many people. I was the one who made a decision to be in this company. So then why would I just drop it? Because I invested time into it. I just gave my word to it. I put my energy to it. And so let me go through it. You don't abandon. So that's why there is no suicide. Suicide has no role to play. I mean, it is the worst thing that one can do, to walk away from the life that we designed and come. We plan and come. We go through it no matter what. It's out of ignorance we do. When we understand this, that if not this life, will be the next life. When we understand this is my creation, then there's no question of suicide. No question of suicide. Patriji's great efforts, we know that many farmers, when they actually are not able to pay their loans, and then the crops don't come, And then a lot of time this has been seen that no, they're committing suicide after suicide just by drinking that very pesticide. But we know that many of them stopped doing it, specifically in the rural Andhra Pradesh. Many of them stopped anymore, no more that feeling that this is shameful to fail in life, because the pride is there. A lot of times the pride has been projected too much. It's there for everybody. But then no more it is shameful that if you lose something, it's not because of my incapability, because the weather, many things that play. But then most importantly, they understand the science. They understand this knowledge. This knowledge that we're understanding is there with so many people in the rural Andhra, Telangana, all these places. They all understand the same thing. Patriji has done his work so much through many, many pyramid masters. Just having this understanding, we reincarnate, we're coming to experience a role. We are the one choosing that villain role, that hero role, this comedian role. We don't have any more problem with what we are going through. We develop that acceptance. Now study this book, The Soul's Growth Through Reincarnation by Leadbeater. You must study this book. This master, Raymond Moody. Now, this book must be studied. Life After Life. Raymond Moody is one of the greatest, one of the research-oriented book here. It's talking about many things. The Tibetan Book of Dead. What is Socrates' view about life after death? Plato's view. Now, these are great philosophers. Everything is covered in all aspects. And then certain people, how they felt when they went through a near-death experience. What's a near-death experience? A near-death experience is where if an accident or in some way or due to deep illness, suddenly we lose consciousness. We're not responding to the medical parameters. But the patient is aware something is happening. They're listening to the doctor's dialogues, they're listening to what they're doing, they're aware. But the medical system is thinking they're dead. And they experience many things, they come back and they document, they say, you know what? I've seen a great light. I've met some people in the Hall of Spirit, and they're telling me how my life has been good and not good. They're telling me what I should do more. I came back. Nobody wants to believe you. Oh, you're hallucinating. What happened to you? No. I'll tell you why. You have to believe me. Because you are gotten 3 people, they're wearing red color dress, blue color dress, and then you go, you know what? You're trying to do this. You're speaking these exact dialogues. They tell exact stuff that happened in the operation theater. Then you have to believe, because it can't be random. He documents many near-death experiences scientifically, the things that have happened from the people and from hospital rooms. And so Raymond Moody has done a lot of research on NDE to demonstrate there is something beyond life. Don't ignore it. What is it we want to know? We want to understand from it that my life that I'm experiencing is just fine. It's not a failure. I'm not a sinner. I'm not this, I'm not that. We don't label ourselves and then criticize ourselves and then feel miserable about it. We transcend the experience of life. Theory of reincarnation, death to eternity, no more fear of death. Then from theory of cause and effect is saying, once we take the role, if I take a comedian role, I must act, I must fulfill that role, do the right thing for the role. Otherwise, there is repercussion. Cause and effect. For everything you do, there is an effect is there. We are choosing according to our role. Now you go in and then you're asked to do that villain role. Now you start playing funnily. Then what's the director going to do? Is say, what the hell? I don't need you. And he's going to shout at you. There is adequate stuff. They say, okay, I'm going to reduce your compensation because you said you'll come 10 hours a day, but you're only coming 6 hours and they're not even doing a role right. They've got to reduce the compensation. There is an effect to it. The cause and effect are there. Popularly called law of karma is not a punishment system. Law of karma is a cause and effect system because we cause something and so there's an effect is there. The ripple effect is there. Effect and the ripple effect both are there. Cause and effect. I'm greedy I've come here to take care of the employees in my company because I promised them many things. And then I promised them, and I myself have agreed that, hey, I will see that you grow, I will see that something will be there good for you. And then all of that is there. But then somewhere I get greedy, and then somewhere I get very selfish, I'm not worried about my future. And then because at the instance of some challenge, financial challenge, first thing you're just dropping off somebody, you're taking out somebody from your roles without having any consideration, understanding, and working with them. And so there's going to be an effect, dear friend. Out of greediness, out of fear, that you take somebody out because you want your bonus, you want your extra money for your salary. It's not adequate if I keep some more people on the payrolls. You take them out just like that without even thinking, impacting. It's not only impacted them, a whole set of family members relying on them, now they're impacted. We must do every consideration before we take a step like that. What is that there in my purview? How can I think about in many, many ways to not cause this effect to somebody? In our view, within what we have agreed that we're going to do, what is the role that I agreed? And then I'm fulfilling my role. That's what we have to do, dear friends, cause and effect. We now go into a company saying that I'm going to play politics, I'm going to stop somebody's growth. We go in with an intention to grow by ourselves, to help others grow. But here we come and we kill animals, we stop people from anything. So what's going to happen? There's got to be an effect for it. There's got to be an effect. There's got to be an effect. We're encouraging killing of animals. We're encouraging violence. We're encouraging interference into somebody's growth in company by doing politics, by doing this, by talking behind the back and doing many things. Our words are never impeccable. And so there's got to be an effect for it. Up to us to go through the effect, up to us to fix the cause. The cause is we become impeccable with our words. Law of theory of karma, cause and effect is saying, be impeccable to the role that you agreed to play. Think right, feel right, act right, do right, speak right. According to the role, mindfully, do everything mindfully. Then the effects are not there. There is bad deeds, good deeds, and then truthful deeds. Bad deeds are the ones that cause harm. Good deeds are the ones that don't cause harm to others or other things, but then still inflict suffering on us because we have expectation of something. I'm running a temple, and then I help everybody to come and then sort of have a good time there, do their prayer and all that. I'm doing good work, but then I've got this great expectation that people must come and then thank me. And then there can never be bad health because I have done this good work. So somebody is going to take care of me always. That very God will take care of me because I've done this. Expectation. Forgetting what causes I've done in the past lives. But at least doing good by expectations that causes suffering to us. Bad deeds causing harm to somebody. So it, of course, it's going to cause a lot more impact to us because they do harm in the field, they do can influence. Good deeds, we don't cause suffering, but then we have expectations, so self-inflicted suffering. Truthful deeds, we don't have expectation, we do things, but the truthful deed is also our attempt towards knowing more about ourselves. There's no cause for, there's nothing there, there is nothing that impacts because we are purely focused towards knowing more about ourselves. You can't cause harm to somebody else. So we move from a bad deed to a good to a truthful deed, dear friends. More bad deeds, more bad things. More good deeds, more good things. Cause and effect, simple equation, nothing special. It's caused by us, effect is coming out of it. That's all. We recognize with the law of theory of cause and effect, dear friends, that we stop harming other things. There's no himsa to something else. The only thing we recognize is no violence, no harm, no killing, and no interference to somebody. Because if we interfere, it's cause, there's an effect of it. If you stifle, we stifle our children from experiencing their life and then holding them and tightly and then never going, making them go anywhere. Be ready, another lifetime, you're going to be caged like that potentially. Because we stop, and so we go back and we think about this and say, what have I done in this lifetime? Why did I do it? I've gone there with an agreement that I'll let my child to live their life and then I'll do my life. But then somewhere I got worried and so I caged them, thinking that is a good thing to do, thinking that this is the way to live life. I can't let them go out. Oh, 18 years onwards, adolescence, I can't let them go until they get married, to have strict control. But that's the age, that's the life force's maximum energy. That sexual energy is at the highest peak for youngsters, and that energy, and we stifle them with our own limited thinking. Not even let them meet boys and girls, we don't let them do. We stifle and we stop them and stop them and stop them. By the time they get to 20, beyond 25, that half the energy is gone. Not interested anymore. Many things have been put off. They have dreams of traveling. We say, no, settle down. You got to settle down first. I have done it. I now took a break. What are you talking about now, break? You must go to the next subject, next year. Enthusiasm is gone. The theory of cause and effect, we recognize, dear friends, that whatever we cause, there's an effect to it, we're going to experience it again. So we look back and say, should I be? And then we try to do our role right, what we agreed to do. No luck. Then we no longer say, oh, I'm unlucky. It's all about my creation. Everything is my creation. We're not crying and cribbing that this happened because of somebody, because we've done something. Yeah. Supposing there is you are in a community. You got to, yesterday, you got to pay an annual fee, and you don't pay annual fee. Let's say you've gone off from here to America, and then the community is supposed to pay because you own a plot. You don't pay. Now, does it mean that it's gone away? No, it's being counted with interest. Now, 20 years later, 30 years later, you're no longer there. Your child comes, and then they look at it. They don't know about this. Then you get a big bill and say, no, I can't pay. Effects are there. Now, you come back 20 years later, you forget about this fact, and then they'll give you a big bill and say, no way, you see, you're ripping me off. What to do? You agreed for the rule right in the beginning. As per your role, you're supposed to pay. You don't pay. Now you come back and argue and then fight with me on this. What can I do? Effect is there. So the theory of cause and effect, dear friends, we play our role and then we stop causing harm to others. We stop interfering to others. We play our role right, mindfully. We develop. We do our role right, then there's no more negative effect of it, no more karma, we call it, no more balance, accumulation of karma. There is, of course, a silver lining here. So now we say, hey, I've done so many things in my life. What to do now? How do you overcome all of the past? Jnana Agni Dagda Karmanam. Jnana Agni Dagda Karmanam. The more knowledge we gain, just this knowledge today we're gaining, sets us forward by many steps. We at once drop things that we're already playing in our mind of how to stop somebody at my workplace. We don't do it anymore. The more we understand this wisdom, the less we have to experience of anything past that we set aside. So we don't have to. And so they disappear. That's a discussion for another day. But the more understand, then we don't have to experience many things that are there in the past, or the karmic stuff that we call pending to be experienced. I just want to say that cause and effect means that we stop, the moment we understand cause and effect, law of karma, we stop doing tough things to others. We stop interfering in their lives. We stop causing harm to them. We at once cease to encourage killing animals, whether for hunting purpose, eating purpose, anything. Leather industry cannot exist, dear friends. It's going to disappear. It's a different thing to skin a dead animal, but not a live animal. It cannot exist. Who would like to be skinned alive? How painful it is to peel off a small portion of a skin for us. And some industries will not exist if in a few years from now. They cannot exist. Fisheries cannot exist. Fisheries government department is it must go away. Cannot exist. Impossible. Nations commit great crime by doing this, by encouraging it, and so then there's got to be a group effect of it. Before we realize this will disappear though. We are hopeful things will happen, change will come. It starts from us. If we all do one by one, then if we stop buying fish, there's got to be a reduced market. It's going to happen. It's going to disappear one way. We educate people about it, it's going to happen a lot more greatly. There's a community near Visakhapatnam. The family of fishermen, the group of not family, the whole village of fishermen, most of them, the only profession they knew is to go into the sea and fish. But then after coming to meditation, guess what? They stopped the fishery business. They whole stopped their profession. Instead of not being educated, instead of not doing anything other than fishing, they gave up the profession. Now they do hard labor here and there. Kudos to Dr. G.K. Patriji for doing this wonderful transformation work. The whole village of fishermen, they all gave up their profession. It takes a lot to give up your profession. Dear friends, the fourth one is saying, we're going to conclude this. The fourth one is saying that there's always progress, there's no regression. We constantly crib, and so I know I lost everything in my business, so I'm just a failure, waste. But you ask any entrepreneur, you get a different picture. You go back and ask any entrepreneur, say, you know what? That is a real experience for you, because the next time when you're going to do business, it's going to help you great, because they've gone through it. I have gone through it. My first company, when I was there, called Sandrise, we know what not to do, because there are a lot of ways and how money was spent significantly, how expectations were there significantly, how over it was an initial thing. You take decisions, you move overconfidently, many things happen. Now come to the second, you start becoming very careful. Now you become very prudent about spending every penny. It's so important. You may see a big corporate splashing money on, for example, because they have raised enough profit, or a nice 40-inch, big LCD screens. But then here, you're going to be very prudent about every penny and say, is it necessary or not necessary? Cash flow is king for a startup. You learn through it. First time you didn't know. You come from a big company, the only thing you know is that this is how you're going to spend money. But then you learn through it, because otherwise it doesn't come. Because the only thing you've seen is spending money differently. I'm not saying anything is wrong. It's just that no, you got your environment set up according to your spend. So, but here, the second time, you're very prudent. Having that experience of both sides, now you've gotten your last company, so you learn from it. So there's no failure. There are only stepping stones. We have heard this, we've been hammered too much of this thing, but we understand there's no failure, there's always progression. First of all, we have a role, we chose a role. It may appear in the world, the eyes of the world, that it's a low role. Bad health, poverty, broken relationships. We think that they're all bad roles or low roles as per the society, because society is just got into some way of viewing. World view of success is different. But first of all, we have to recognize we are the ones who are choosing a role, becoming and experiencing. Now all we have to do is to do a role right. First of all, know what my role, do a role right. And whatever we do, recognize there is only success, there is only growth. So don't go into the guilt trip. We stop feeling guilty. We stop self-criticizing. We start recognizing that everything is going for my greatness, to becoming greater and greater. No failure. If we are to break a relationship because significantly other person is doing whatever, cheating, this or that, something is happening. If you have to break a relationship, you break, doesn't mean that you're a failure because you broke a relationship. Maybe in the first place, we have not done our homework right. Not a failure on you, it is just that things did not work out. A relationship as a partner in a business, a relationship you've broken with a company because you're just not there, liking it, doesn't mean that you're not good or you're not fit there. It just means that a mismatch. Recognize that it's not it's not a judgment on your personal capability when some things don't go the way you want it. And there is only constant progression because it comes from the past. Somebody, if a child is scoring only 40 marks today, while the neighbor child is scoring 80 marks, recognize your child may not have been going through studies at all in the past. We talked this. In his past life, maybe just going in and then doing studies. So just 10 marks was all they were getting. It takes time, right? If you want to be a computer program expert, you can't learn everything in next 6 months. It takes some time to become that proficiency of expertism. You've got to become expert means it'll probably take 5 years at least. Become an architect to get better at it, it'll take another 10 years. Nothing comes overnight. So why are we pushing the child, poor thing, before realizing their life design may be that, they're only done to 10 marks, they've done only first grade in the past. So you're trying to feed them with the 12th grade right away. Expectation that they must have like my neighbor. So recognize there is progression always in everything we do. So we don't go into judgment attitude about ourselves or with somebody else. We only see one thing. Are they putting the sincere effort? How can I help them to move into the greater effort? That's if there's a real responsible parent is to see how can I motivate my child. And the fifth theory, dear friends, is called theory of yoga. Yoga is a catalyst. It's a catalyst. See, before meditation, everything is difficult. Everything is tough. We are doing a lot of work. We are thinking, doing. But the moment meditation comes, a shift happens. The moment teacher comes, a shift happens. You can learn music by yourself, reading books, manuals, internet, everything. But then the moment you have a good teacher with you, then your learning accelerates, isn't it? The moment you have a mentor, learning accelerates. Catalyst, in the chemistry, we understand this catalyst. What takes years, when you put that catalyst, that chemical, then suddenly the reaction happens pretty quickly, right? We all have done this in chemistry in the laboratory. So the law of yoga is meditation is a catalyst that will catalyze our experiences. Things go faster. How many people are experiencing a fast-paced life, meaning you're experiencing many things. You feel that you're experiencing many things in life which you never thought of. You suddenly think of going to Himalayas, you do it. Suddenly you want to change a company, you do it. Suddenly you say, I'm going to start it. For 20 years, you try to decide, you could never muster the courage to start your business when you're starting just like that. How many people are experiencing it? That your life is catalyzed now, that you are moving swiftly and experiencing after experiencing. Please say yes in the chat. Please open the chat. Meditation catalyzes our experience. The law of yoga, it's called. That's why Bhagavad Gita says, tapasvibhyodiko yogi, jnanibhyopi mathodikaha, karmabhyadiko yogi, tasmat yogi bhavachana. There is karma yogi, there is jnana yogi, there is tapasvi. People who are doing rituals, people who are learning, people who are doing a lot of people who are going withdrawing themselves and doing a lot of penance. All of them are there. But then yoga means the one who is aligning with emptying the mind stuff in pursuit of this whole. is adhikaha, is greater. So it's tasmad yogi bhavarjana. Become a yogi immediately. Aligned to take meditation. Meditation becomes our guru, a master. That's a mentor. A mentor of meditation, when it enters our life progresses swiftly. That's great. Many people say that. So a life is becoming, ordinary life becomes miraculous life. In the law of constant progression, there's no failure. Here, there is only miracle. There are so many things are happening. I never expected. It just suddenly happened, These are words. These are words that we hear in the meditation. And the lasting difference is infinity. How many ways we can experience life? How many times we can come here? How many ways we can grow business? How many places to travel? How many ways to the same place we go enjoy that? How many ways we can celebrate at life, at home? There are many, many ways we recognize an infinity. So there's infinity, we recognize it. So we become unlimited, from limited to unlimited. We stop thinking it's not possible. That not is removed from our dictionary. Unlimited. So dear friends, the sixth theory is, as we understand, we recognize that we are coming back again and again. We are everything. We come back to experience that power of us through various lifetimes. So the reincarnation is telling us there's no death. Transcend life experience. Any role is fine. Death to eternity. Any role is fine. I accept it. There's no luck, self-creation. We stop harming people. There are no problems in learning. Cause and effect. There's only constant progression. So we don't crib, we don't complain, we don't self-critical, doubtful about, judgmental about ourselves or anybody around. We recognize and say, everybody is progressing. It's fine. A business failure is fine. Job loss is fine. Accept. Oh, there must be something for me to learn here, because there's always a learning. Because if you lose a job, you get a better job. How many people have had that, by the way? You hold on to a job, you lose the job, and next time you say, oh, no, what? That's the best thing, because I never took that, I never dared to get out of the job. I was too comfortable. I pushed out. I got a great job going. How many people have experienced that? Progress, constant progress. Law of yoga or meditation is telling us that life becomes miraculous and it becomes unlimited with infinity. Thank you, dear friends. Six theories of spiritual science. Where do you learn this? We have to read. Just like we are hearing from me, I heard from Patriji. I'll write this in English. Patriji spoke about this Telugu, so we're going to translate that book or write this in English. But where do you learn it? You read about law of reincarnation, read about all these books, we understand the law of reincarnation. Of course, some of it may be there in Theosophical Society somewhere. We put this together, we have a great understanding of how life situations are. No more complaining, no more judgmental, no more non-acceptance of what we are going through. Everything is great the way it is. Chandraji, say a few things before I conclude the session. Able to unmute?
Oh. Namaste. Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Yes, madam.
Is that any, did you ask me any question? Because I didn't hear it in the beginning.
No problem. I just asked you to say a few words about what we heard today.
Yeah, that is about the six theories. The ones, whatever I had yesterday, I got super in my different world. I felt like they are straight away going in and making every part. It's nothing new, but I never paid attention to those aspects because I always, today I noticed from your thing, I felt the last sentence you said, the no more negative thinking, always think about the positive, whatever, wherever you are. You can make it. So it's in your hand. Because I am still, I can call myself in the experimental stage in this whole journey, because I don't want to force myself, but all these ones are really supplementing my understanding. Definitely, I should call myself. It opens up for a wider thinking. And I like Ledbetter because I'm so familiar with his style through my husband. And so I'm thinking I should go and find the book that's in my house somewhere. So I have to take it and read. And I like even you said how the theory of meditation and yoga, that has really that's very close to my heart. That caught mine, that how they are behaving like a catalyst. That's really a good, I think they open the doors. Because whenever I do yoga, automatically this kind of your meditation, focusing my breath and also the emptiness, it comes to me. I go for yoga and I feel they are going hand in hand if we only pay attention to it. And in this, only thing is I am a little bit not that much clear about the cause and effect. Is that the same? You said it, I'm sorry, I missed it. Is that the same like whatever we do in our previous births, your karma, you are paying it now? Because that's we always use the thing. Yes. So how can I change it now? By doing some good stuff. I don't know what I did in my previous life.
Yes. Dhyana Jagath karmana. We understand more and more knowledge. The more we gain understanding of life, the less we have to experience what we still have pending to experience. Okay? The more we gain newer knowledge. Let's say have newer knowledge about non-interference. If we have new knowledge about non-interference and we listen to others and say, how if I'm interfering into my child life, it is causing effect. So the more we understand this by listening to others, then we have that lesson fully learned. Then if there is pending work for us, pending experience from the past where we have stifled, let's say, our children, our somebody else, and so there is a pending action to be learned, the pending experience to be there, that disappears because we no longer have to do it because we learned how to be non-interfering here already. In our pursuit, we read, we listen to others, and we meditate, we internalize it a lot and say, yes, that's true. I cannot interfere in somebody's lives. And then when the lesson is learned, every pending karmic thing that is there for waiting to happen for us to re-experience is no longer necessary. So it disappears. It's like, it disappears. When I say gain knowledge, I'm talking about change our behavior, our attitude, the way we approach life anymore in giving advice. Non-interference. Just the way in a jail, when somebody goes into a 20-year prison term, but the behavior changes. They suddenly understand many things. They come to a conclusion that if I do this kind of stuff, again, I'm going to waste another 20 years of my life in the prison. So I must not do. And then what are the jail system, the government officials thinking, has this person really changed as they have understood? If they come to that conclusion, then they'll give a parole, so reduce their term, and then suddenly come to only 5 years now you have to stay. 10 years they take a write-off. Right? So you will learn some more, demonstrate a lot more better behavioral capability, and then they're not looking at what they're doing today. They're trying to see whether the person changed really. And so if they're done, then taking off another 2 years. So that's how you reduce the balance. The person doesn't have to do all 20 years. 2 years, they're out. So same thing here. The more we learn and internalize the knowledge about a specific lesson, then everything related to the lesson, all the past deeds that are waiting for us to experience, disappear. It's called Jnana Jagath Karmanam from Bhagavad Gita. In the fire of knowledge, your past karma are the past things that dissolve. Okay. At young age, I wanted to say, I got to drive this, BMW. It's got to be there. I said a lot of intention about BMW. It is there in the quantum field as pending to be experienced. Right? Now I have to work for BMW to experience it because it's there. If I kept it open in the field, in another lifetime or somewhere, I'm going to continue to really work hard a lot to get that money, if that's how my notion of money is. I've got to put a lot of money only to experience that BMW temporarily. It comes, I'll do 1 month later, I'll say, okay, this is just another car. I don't know why I spent so much time and money on it. This is a revelation when come to it. Now, however, when you come to this Jnana Agni, so if suppose we are learning through this meditation, we're learning through a lot of impermanence, permanence, and then we listen to others' experience, we say, you know what, I chased this BMW, I worked so hard, but then guess what? Yeah, I mean, after getting it, 3 months later, it just became another car. So I realized, why did I spend so much money on it? When we listen to others like this, and when we meditate, when we also understand permanence, impermanence, we get to a conclusion and say, I don't need it anymore. That understanding is sufficient, that deep understanding that I don't need it anymore. It's not out of just, a superficial thing. It comes from inside. I don't need it anymore. That means you're not going to get tempted with another 10 BMWs in front of you. You're not going to get tempted with them. All right. So that is called jnana, that distilled wisdom that comes out of knowledge is taken, but then we internalize it either by working, by experiencing physically, or transcending in a mind by listening to everybody's experience as yours. Okay, so then you dissolve. This is how it works, madam. Subject for more discussion. It can take time to understand, but keep contemplating on it.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, all my friends. Yes. Yes, Lakshmi madam.
So 2 points. Masters, we are going to have the quiz 4 for all those registered participants with certificates. Quiz 4 will be sent today. So please do take it up. And as is where we are, right? That's one. And second thing, tomorrow will be our last breakout room session. So please be a part of it. Share what you have learned. If you have any questions, if you want to say a word with your fellow masters, please feel free to join the session and be a part of it. Yeah. Yes.
Madam, we almost cannot see you. Can you whether you put your position of camera?
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
You don't see on your screen yourself?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we barely can. It's just above the water. When we are in swimming, only our head is above. That's how we see you.
Any better?
Yes. Thank you, madam. Yes, the certification process. I'm sure you're making note of it and then paying attention to get through it. We have a facilitator meeting. Yes, there are a couple of questions here. Yes, they will take these two.
Govind Kumar ji, please unmute yourself. Govind Kumar ji, please speak. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I'm doing 2 things in my morning: meditation and the worship. In worship, I used to do the mantra chanting. Someday, I firstly do the mantra chanting, and someday I do the meditation. So when I do the mantra chanting and after mantra chanting, when I come to the meditation, it takes too much time to enjoy the meditation. That means go in the deep emptiness, to achieve the emptiness of my mind and to achieve the mindfulness. It takes too much time. But when I do the mantra chanting after meditation, I get too much enjoy. because at the time of mantra chanting, it gives a peaceful mind. So, and due to the busy schedule, sometime I used to do the mantra chanting and firstly, and sometime we have to do the meditation. So I am, so it is just give me a little bit confusion to me. What I am doing, it is right or wrong like that. So please give me your advice to me that why this contradiction is here.
Yeah, because they're two different things. You,
Yeah.
first of all, congratulations, you're doing experimentation. I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're experimenting to come to a conclusion. Do it
Yeah.
more. Now, if
Okay.
you say your mantra chanting becoming a lot more effective after meditation, then you come to the conclusion, so do that then, more of it.
Okay.
Your meditation is good because you already said the other thing. If I do a lot of mantra chanting, cooling down to meditation is becoming tough.
Yeah, yeah.
It's active. So you've already gotten that. So you're just reversing the order, then you got both.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Do both.
Okay, sir.
That's what
Yeah,
you've done by yourself.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not listening
Thank you.
to me. Because meditation, what is the way saying? Meditation gives us everything. It takes us down, and so we become the whole. So we have the ability to learn as a whole, the ability to experience as a whole, not as a tiny matter. So your experience of mantra chanting will be wonderful after meditation. It's got to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
It's got to
Okay.
be. That's the
Thank
theory. But you are proving to yourself that's how it is happening, which is good.
Okay. Thank
For
you,
a
sir.
period of time, you'll discuss. For a period of time, you'll decide. We said use that in the busyness. This is exactly the point. I mean, you got to hit the point, nail on the head. In the busyness, if I don't get our priorities right, we end up doing mantra chanting, drop meditation. But in the busyness, we do meditation, drop mantra chanting, maybe okay, because it's going to give you many more things. You will also come to that conclusion over a period of time. I do my yoga, pranayama, and then meditation. By the time I get to meditation, 1 hour is over, and so suddenly something comes, meditation gone. But you're already experimenting as a scientist. You're reversing.
Yeah, yeah.
Come to the conclusion appropriately and say, if I don't have time, what should I remove?
Yes.
Come to the conclusion.
Okay.
You know, when I was working on my business growth, meditation, time for breakfast. I used to skip breakfast, but not my meditation. When there is a time when I was busy, I couldn't do, I said, breakfast can wait, but not my meditation. I took to my meditation first. Got ready, went into my pyramid, meditated. 55 minutes, I must do it. I did it. Some days late for my meeting, I have to be in an office. I said, Vani, that's fine. Breakfast, if he is there, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'll have something later. I used to go. Things are clear in my mind of what to skip or not to skip. Thank you, sir, for raising the question. Yes, madam.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thanks. I want to share something here that I started training on stress management. Last Friday, I just took an initiative to teach some of the people around me, like how I am learning from here, from these 6 months. I wanted to get them on this same track so that they can also enjoy the life peacefully. So I just did this kind of experiment with my friends, and I got a nine members joined that, which was to my surprise. I thought, I don't know, I was not expecting anyone, but to my this thing, um, I took the initiative and 17 members accepted, in which 9 of them have joined, and I made them understand in a reality like how the stress management can be handled. So I did not went through the meditation as a subject, because I want to because everyone are going through the stress management, right? Probably a meditation would deviate them from not joining, but intentionally I wanted to take them to meditation at the later stage, at the end of the session. So I told them how meditation can really help them, and they were very happy, and they want me to continue daily, because they were seriously looking for someone, and then this is how I came into the picture. That is what they told, and they were happy. they want me to continue. So tomorrow, from starting tomorrow, I told them that we will have that every week for 15 to 20 minutes initially, so that I wanted to see the consistency and their interest. Later, from the next month, I would take it from every day for half an hour or so that they can have a stand on the point and continue later. So that is a mutual benefit. I teach them and I'll also learn from them. So this is what I did. I just want to share it with you.
So beautiful, Archana ji.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Archana the Bodhisattva.
Sorry?
Archana the Bodhisattva, I said. Archana ji the Bodhisattva. Who wants to know help people cross the river? We're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And one more last thing, from the starting of this year, for some or the other reason, I've been into so many holistic programs and meditation programs. I understand that universe is abundance. So we are in this world on Earth, which is very tiny in front of universe. When we are part of universe, when we know universe is abundance, then why to limit ourselves? This is what I understand. I get to the conclusion that everything is abundance. The only thing is you should think of it and accept it. That's it. No sufferings, nothing. So, but it takes time for us to, because we have created so many patterns and all these things that should go off. Yeah. Thank you, sir. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Beautiful, madam. Where you said, where are you from? You said?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay. Madam, you have to please call me once. Please call me
Sure.
once. There's so much you can do, so much you can teach.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure, sir. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
The facilitator will be able to give my number and do call me once. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. So we'll see you all tomorrow. We'll continue these conversations. There are more things that are there during this week. We are understanding spiritual intelligence. Gives a perspective. Have a wonderful day. And facilitators will do a quick meeting. Thank you.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me.
Thank you all. We'll meet you all tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. IST.